Hey, welcome to Oscar's Green Card today with a special update on the visa bulletin for March 2026 that comes with a lot of news, a lot of good news. So let's start. Hi, my name is Oscar, and as you know, I'm a scientist and not a lawyer. And in this channel, we talk about EB2 NIW and about EB1A. We talk about green cards in which you can be a self-petitioner. You can do it by yourself, and you can do it without a lawyer and without a company sponsorship. And we teach you that here in this channel, in oscarsgreencard.com, where you can find our specialized courses. If you want to do it yourself, we have a methodology that will show you how to put together a successful cover letter, a successful petition package to USCIS. But today, let's focus on the visa bulletin because the visa bulletin for March 2026 is out. It's late. I know, a lot of anxiety, a lot of people asking about it every day. What's happening with the visa bulletin? Well, we don't know when it's going to come out. And actually, today we had something a little bit strange where they actually published it, but they forgot, I think, to refresh the main website, so we didn't have it there. But some people were already accessing the URL directly and getting to the visa bulletin. So let's take a look at it. There's a lot of movement, a lot of things going on. So let's understand, why is the visa bulletin important? Because it helps you know if there is a visa number available for you, if you can finish your green card process or not. And if you are early in the process, you can get a rough idea of how long it's going to take based on today's situation. Remember that things can change, things can get better or worse depending on demand, depending on visa numbers available. For example, we were talking recently in a video that I leave over here that these travel bans, these suspensions of visa issuance for certain countries can cause movement forward in the visa bulletin because more visa numbers are available to the rest of the countries. But when that situation finishes, the situation may revert. So let's take a look at where we can see the visa bulletin. And if you are not new to the channel, you know that if you type visa bulletin in Google, you will find this website from Department of State, where you have on the left side the current month, February 2026. We already know the information for that, and we gave you the update last month. And now they just had this link posted here for March 2026. So we're going to open both and we are going to compare tables. And those tables are going to tell you if there is a visa number available for you or not. You have to compare your priority date, the date you filed your I-140 in EB2 NIW or EB1A, to the date shown on the table for your country and your category. And your priority date needs to be earlier than the date shown on the visa bulletin, and that means that you can proceed with the process, you can finish your green card process, you can hopefully get an interview at an embassy or consulate. And the table that is most important is table A. That's really the table that dictates if you can finish. Then we have table B, and we'll talk about it. We'll see what is its significance, and we'll see also if it is important this month or not. So I'm going to open both February and March. Actually, I have them open already. And here I have table A, final action dates. That's the most important table, as I was saying. And if we look at what was happening in February, EB1 was current, China had a date of February 2023, and India had a date of February 2023. If we go for March, we see that EB1 is also current, China has a date of March 23, and India March 23. So remember, the only change here is China and India are moving 1 month forward. So not a lot of changes for EB1. We have a slight improvement for India and China. It's not really a big improvement because remember, we always expect as neutral news that the visa bulletin should move 1 month forward because 1 month has passed in real life. But now let's go with EB2 in table A. EB2 is very popular because it includes EB2 NIW. We had a date of April 2024, and that date was already a product of some movements that we have been seeing. So most of the countries have a date of April 24. And now we are seeing October 24, 15th of October 2024. That's, if my math is correct, that's 6 months and a half movement forward, which is really good news. Really, really good news. Actually, I didn't expect this movement to be so large at this point of the year. So great news for all of you NIW applicants that are stuck in that backlog, waiting for the visa bulletin to move, waiting for a consular interview or waiting for USCIS adjustment of status, because now a lot of people are going to be in that situation where they can complete their process. And what about China and India? Well, not a lot of movements. China had a date of September 2021. It's still the same for EB2. And India had a date of July 2013, and now it will move a little bit forward to September 2013. Still a long wait for them. And as usual, Mexico and Philippines follow rest of world, okay? EB3, EB4, we don't talk much about it, but just as a note here, EB3 does move forward June 2023 to October 2023, so that's good news for a lot of people in that category. But look at India and China, they're still not moving even for EB3 when the other categories are moving. So great news for a lot of people in the EB2 category, and I know a big chunk of our audience is EB2, is EB2 NIW. Not so much news for EB1. I know we have some Indian friends also in EB1 that are always thinking about the visa bulletin because they do have a backlog there, and maybe some Chinese, but we have to stay with the good news. And later we're going to see the historical movement so you can understand what this means in terms of the big picture. Because sometimes we focus on these 2 months and really it's not that significant. And one thing that I always tell you is to look for footnotes in the visa bulletin. And later we're going to take a look at table B, which has some crazy things happening. But in terms of footnotes, there's only one interesting one. And it says something that we have been saying here in the channel in that video that I was referring to earlier, that there are various actions from the administration, and that has restricted visa issuance for aliens of certain countries. And consequently, to make visa available in accordance with the law, they have moved the dates forward. So they are saying, and I haven't looked at family because I don't really follow that, but I'm sure it has also moved forward, and they're saying this because we are not issuing visas for those countries affected by the travel ban and the suspension of 75 countries. So we have to move everyone else. But note here that it says that if the administration actions are amended, retrogression may be necessary later in the fiscal year to keep issuance within annual limits. So they're saying now we are opening the gates because we have this situation, but let's say that Trump ends these measures, we may have to revert it because we cannot let so many people get that green card and go over the limits that Congress imposes. So I hope that happens and those people can obtain their visas, because it's not fair, this situation for people from those countries. But my gut feeling tells me that it's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, so now let's take a look at table B. And why is table B or why can table B be important? Table B is particularly important for adjustment of status because certain months USCIS will allow you to use table B to submit your adjustment of status, your I-485 package. And table B is more advantageous from a date perspective, and it lets you act quicker. So some people may be waiting for table A to complete the process, but they can already file adjustment of status, and they can already have a temporary work permit, and they can have a temporary travel document to go abroad and come back. So it's really interesting to file adjustment of status if you can. And usually USCIS at the beginning of the fiscal year, it will let you use table B. And at some point, which is usually February, March timeframe, they will say, wait, no, now you can only use table A. And that's not as good as table B. We are going to see how you can understand what table you need to use. So if you go to this link that you have under table B, it will tell you what table you can use. But as you can see, right now we don't have the full information for next month because there's always a delay. They always take a few hours, sometimes a day or two to post it. But for example, for February, for employment base, they let people use table B. Now, why is this very important this month? Because we were going from a situation in February where, yes, EB1 was current, EB2 had a date of October 15th, 2024. But now, let's see March. March has EB1 current, and attention, has EB2 also current, right? This is something we haven't seen for years, I dare say. If I remember correctly, the last time I saw this was probably after November, so probably December 2022, when we have a C in table B in the visa bulletin. Now, I don't know what's going to happen if we follow the historical numbers, and let me show you the historical tracker that I have. We see that around this time frame, we are now in February, and we're going to be in March in this visa bulletin. We see that most of the times we already have to switch to table A. So it is very possible that they do that. But this is a special year, as you are seeing, we are seeing movements that we have never seen in the last 2 years, probably because of these travel bans, and they don't know how to manage the visa numbers they have. So if there is an A here, and you will have to come back to that website in a while and check it out if that's allowed or not to use table B or table A. So if there is an A here, well, we still have good news because table A moved a little bit, but if we have a B here, a lot of people will be able to file adjustment of status. That's why I'm a bit skeptical that they are going to let use table B. So I would bet for table A this time, but I was wrong last month, so don't trust me on this. Why do I think it's more likely that they use table A, sorry, because they probably want to speed up a little bit the consulate work, but if they open the gates so much for adjustment of status, they will be flooded with I-485 adjustment of status applications. That's my bet, that they will not go that far this month, but we are going to see. You have to go back to that website, which you have the link here, refresh it after a while, and see what numbers you get. And now, if you are curious about this process, if you want to do this process by yourself, let's hear Marina and let's see what resources we have to offer you.
This is our website, oscarsgreencard.com. You can find our courses for do-it-yourself petitioners. They are designed to guide you step by step through the whole petition process, from understanding the requirements of each category to crafting strong recommendation letters. And we also share a lot of tips so you can write the best possible cover letter. In every lesson, you can submit your written questions for Oscar to answer, so you're not left with any doubts. By the way, in the EB2 NIW course, we meet once a month, so you can ask your questions face to face and we can learn from each other. So what are you waiting for? Join us. We learn together.
And by the way, we have a new product that is open to everyone, not only course members. That is the AI Assistance, a platform where you can do several things. One of them is to get your petition cover letter reviewed. It will review all chapters of your petition based on my method, the method that we teach in our course. And we can also do that for an error-free response. So take a look at oscarsgreencard.com and join us there. Let's take a look at the historical time so you can understand the big picture here. Let's go to my spreadsheet here where I track EB2 dates, and particularly the estimated wait time for EB2 rest of world in each visa bulletin. So taking that visa bulletin and calculating how long would I have to wait right now. And you see that historically since 2022, times have gone up, wait times have gone up, which is not good. We had a stable situation here in 2023, 2024, then it got worse. And now see what's happening recently. We are seeing the trend reverting. And I don't think it's so much because of demand decreasing so sharply, but it's probably because USCIS is getting those visa numbers from countries that are suspended or they have those extraordinary measures to restrict immigration. I'm pretty sure that demand is also going down, and also approval rates are lower than ever in the recent times. So we'll see what happens with adjustment of status, because I haven't plotted here March. If we go to table B, then this will go to 0. If we go to table A, there will be a slight dip like in the other chart. And India, EB1, let's see what we have. India had a crazy situation here in mid-2023 where we saw huge retrogression. And remember, retrogression can always happen for all categories and all countries. And this is the proof. They were doing pretty well in EB1, suddenly huge retrogression, and then it came back down, but it never really recovered. But if you actually draw the line, you can see that the trend is more or less stable if we ignore the retrogression times over here. And China is in a little bit of a better situation than India. Well, it is in the same situation right now. Actually, they are at the same end point. But of course, China didn't have that huge retrogression in EB1 like we saw for India. But interesting to see India and China side by side in terms of number of months. I think now we are at what, 30, 33 months of wait time based on table A in the visa bulletin. So now the question is for you, what do you think about all of this? Were you surprised as I was about these movements, particularly in EB2 and in table B, which we will have to see what happens with adjustment of status? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. I will read all the comments and I will try to answer a few of them, most of them. And as usual, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. Share this video with others and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, good luck in your green card journey.